Every New York resident needs a home office, and this one has the best view ever. The Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, One World Trade Center, and if you look really closely, a glimpse of London.
I'm Sara Gore, and welcome to Open House NYC, everyone. We are in a New York state of mind this week, exploring great homes and design in the Big Apple, from penthouses to townhouses, uptown, midtown, downtown, and I'm bringing it all to you from this glamorous triplex loft in SoHo. Originally designed by Tony Ingrao, hi Tony, this nearly 85-foot great room features soaring ceilings, huge windows, and a graceful flow between the living areas and the sleek modern kitchen. This place is just begging for a fashionable SoHo soiree. There are 4 bedrooms in all, including an opulent primary bedroom suite with a dream closet. And just when you think it can't get any better, the 3rd level reveals a solarium that leads to a landscaped rooftop terrace with everything you need to dine or entertain al fresco. We are getting our New York show started on Billionaires Row because why not? If we are dreaming, let's dream big. We're going inside one of the tallest residential buildings in the world. This duplex offers, without a doubt, some of the most breathtaking views of New York you'll ever see. This over 6,500 square foot home is filled with show-stopping spaces that, like the city itself, always surprises. Take a look.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Nikki Field from Sotheby's International Realty, and it is my pleasure to welcome you today to 111 West 57th Street. Today you have a private viewing of Penthouse 76, what I call a little bit of heaven on earth. Right off of the entry gallery, you step into this jaw-dropping grand salon. Please note the 14-foot ceilings. It is also 52 feet long, spanning east to west. Yes, that is the Hudson River, and over here is the East River. And this is the very best view you will ever see of Central Park. Yes, that is the reservoir, and yes, that is the Metropolitan Museum. Beyond the park, you can see views of the George Washington Bridge, the foothills of the Catskills, and the Long Island Sound. When you see helicopters that close, you know you're in the sky. But a home is much more than a view. Let's talk about how you entertain 76 floors above Manhattan. This grand salon has plenty of space for conversation, cocktails, and dining, making it the perfect place for the world's most exclusive party. But let's not forget the craftsmanship and the artistry of the design. Details include custom smoke gray oak floors, exquisite lighting fixtures, and gallery walls for the most discerning of art collections. This redefines elevated living in New York. Entertaining continues at the southern wing of the apartment with this panoramic view of downtown Manhattan. The Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, One World Trade Center, the New York Harbor, the Atlantic Ocean, and if you look really closely, a glimpse of London. Every New York resident needs a home office, and this one has the best view ever. Can you imagine making your next deal here? I can. The southern wing also includes this amazing kitchen. It features quartzite countertops and backsplashes and all Gaggenau appliances, and enough room for a breakfast table. This kitchen is so glamorous it might even entice a Manhattanite to cook at home. Now follow me upstairs to the private wing. There are 3 bedrooms on this level, each one dramatic in its design. And of course, showcasing those dynamic views. But it's the primary suite that you have to see. And what a primary suite it is. 6 rooms in all. A bedroom, a sitting room, 2 dressing rooms, 2 bathrooms, and a sexy bar for late night celebrations. How romantic is this? Waking up here will definitely make you feel like New York royalty. Oh, thank you for coming today to see New York's most glamorous penthouse. Hope to see you soon.
I mean, everywhere you looked in that home was like redefining a room with a view, right? All right, coming up, guess who's coming to dinner and where? We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Some properties just have star quality, right? Now, the late, great Katharine Hepburn recognized that in her own Turtle Bay townhouse. Now we see how friend of the show, Garo Cadogan, added his own touch of glamour, intrigue, and beauty to an already beautiful home. Take a look.
Hello, my fellow open house junkies. Welcome to the Turtle Bay neighborhood in Manhattan. I can't wait to show you this fabulous townhouse that I've designed. Come take a look. You wouldn't know it by walking down the street, but this entire block was designed by one developer. And all the townhouses share this secret garden, which I'll share with you later. Not only is this home a historical gem, but it has an amazing provenance. Believe it or not, the late, great Katharine Hepburn lived here. When you first come in the front door, you arrive at the kitchen. The kitchen was actually just a very white space when I started with it, so I really wanted to infuse some color into the room. I selected this blue tone. It's actually a warm blue, and what plays better with blue than red? So I built this built-in banquette and I put these red seat cushions on it. While we were renovating the home, we found these fabulous little sketches, which legend has were actually Katharine Hepburn's own sketches. So I framed them and put them over this built-in banquette. How great is that? I generally like my kitchens to be a little bit more formal, and yet I like the kitchen still to be functional in case you have to prepare some Adam's ribs. And guess who's coming to dinner? Well, it doesn't matter because I designed this formal dining room for everyone. I didn't want this room to just be the formal dining room because it's the only room in the house that actually opens onto the garden. So to take advantage of this, I custom designed this banquette which I placed by the window. The banquette also allows you to push the dining table to one side of the room, which leaves the view open to the fireplace. And since the fireplace is such a focal point in this room, I knew I had to play it up, so I used this fabulous Venetian mirror. Since the windows in this room are a unique feature, I wanted to really accentuate them, so I used this fabulous herringbone fabric that draws your eye right out towards the garden. The best part of having a townhouse in New York City is having outdoor space. I mean, look at this. It's magnificent. You're surrounded by nature. All the townhouses in this block share this idyllic, secluded garden. You might forget you're in the middle of Manhattan and instead think you're on Golden Pond. In the primary bedroom, I wanted to take advantage of the views facing out towards the garden, so I positioned the bed in this lovely niche. Anyone who knows my work knows that I love to use bed hangings to create an intimate environment. Here I use this beautiful blue velvet. It has a great weight to it and it actually deadens the noise in the room. I chose these 2 antique bibliotheques to flank the fireplace, and the pediments in the bookcases actually have the same scallop detail as in the mantel. To complete the primary suite, on the opposite side is a lovely little sitting room. I took the opportunity to create this lovely little desk niche, and I painted the room a brilliant pumpkin color. And before we go, I wanted to show you this wonderful, quirky little built-in vanity. This is where the Woman of the Year spent a lot of time getting ready to go out. Working on a historic home such as this, especially with such provenance, is any designer's dream. And with a house like this, who would ever go on holiday?
Coming up, we are in Red Hook, Brooklyn for a taste of this deliciously designed home. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Now, creativity takes many forms, colors, and in our next home, flavors. Jessie Sheehan is an author, social media personality, and self-proclaimed queen of the easy peasy sweets. See how she designed her Red Hook townhouse like one of her irresistible recipes, using only exquisite ingredients and a thoughtful mix. Take a bite. Oh, take a look.
I'm Jessie Sheehan, and I'm a cookbook writer and a podcast host and a baker. Welcome to my home in Red Hook, Brooklyn. This is an upside-down house, which I think is very cool, which means that on this second floor here are all of the bedrooms, and then on the top floor is our living room, kitchen, all of that kind of setup. And I'm gonna take you into the primary suite. These are my two favorite people in the world, my dog Niblo, who's a pit bull, and my kitty Ray Ray, who is a Bengal. So this is our bedroom, and the walls, they're white with this bright trim. This is my bed, where I tend to sleep with our cat. So the original floors in the house were really important for us to maintain throughout the house. So when you walk into the bedroom, you'll see those wooden floors. You walk in the closet, they're still there, and they go all the way into the bathroom. So we made the choice to have the primary bedroom be the same size as the other bedrooms on this floor, but generally, I'm upstairs, so follow me. We placed the living area or the living room right near all of these beautiful windows, and we have these really nice wooden blinds. And outside, you can see the water. So it's definitely the spot that you want to be in when you're hanging out. I also love this coffee table that's like a burl, a piece of wood from a tree. We've had it for many, many years, and it's like a special piece that kind of moves with us wherever we go. The trim up here is orange, which I think is this really bold, fun choice, and it sort of is a little different than what you might expect, but for us, it really works. And last but not least, I am a voracious reader, so I love to have a space, a big, big bookshelf filled with the books that I love. Now who's hungry? Follow me to the kitchen. So when I have people over, particularly if I'm doing a brunch or something like that, I love to make recipes from my new savory baking book. This is a really easy recipe for a French cheese puff, which are called gougères. I find that things cook a lot more evenly and you have a lot more control when you're using an induction cooktop, and that's why I love it in my kitchen. So we have some butter in a pot. I'm gonna add a little bit of milk. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, and I'm gonna melt the butter on the stovetop. Now we're gonna add the flour. I love the way subway tile looks. To me, it just says New York City, and I've lived here for a really long time. I went to college in New York City, and I always dreamed of having a kitchen with subway tiles, and now I do. I happen to host the #1 baking podcast in the US. It's called She's My Cherry Pie. So I'm asking tons of nerdy questions like, why did you add the salt? How come we need 4 eggs? And then we share the recipe with the listeners. Now that the dough has kind of dropped in temperature, I'm gonna crack those eggs. And now we're gonna add the cheese. So this is kind of like a nostalgic place for me in the kitchen, because this is the spot where I would either be cooking dinner or baking something for my kids, and then I'd be looking out here and seeing the rest of my family at the dining room table. Now I'm gonna place this in the oven, and then I'm gonna get all the other salty, cheesy, herby, crispy treats ready for my friends. Here's a really delightful brunch, all of which comes straight from my cookbook, except for the sweets. We have the gougère that I just whipped up, and then for dessert, we have cupcakes with chocolate frosting, and we have peanut butter pie. This house has seen so many great parties, and I will miss having them here. However, it is time for a new family to move in and have their own parties and make their own memories. Thank you so much from me and from Niblo and from Ray Ray for coming into our home today. We really enjoyed having you.
Coming up just after the break, we are shining a light on chic design in the Lantern House. I will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Now we're in Chelsea at the famed Lantern House with interior designer Catalina Castagno. She shows us a bespoke penthouse filled with custom details that play beautifully with the unique architecture of the building. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Catalina Castagno, interior designer based in New York City. Welcome to the Lantern House. I am thrilled to take you on a tour of this amazing penthouse that I designed. It is sexy, sophisticated, and full of designer surprises. Let's begin. The unique architecture of the building presented great design opportunities. This great room includes dining, living, and kitchen. In the dining area, we use an irregular shaped dining table. The curves on the chairs mimic the curves on the windows. I chose these translucent pendant lights because we didn't want any obstruction between the guests or anything blocking the views. In the living area, we use a curved rug. We color it to mimic the color of the skyline. One of the highlights of this design is the custom sofa, upholstered in these luxurious velvet and terracotta colors. This gorgeous piece simulates the lantern windows, adding warmth and character to the whole space. The coffee table picks up the colors of the room, and the pattern changes when the light hits it. I hate matchy-matchy, so for the chairs, I went with something different and sculpture. It also swivels so you never miss a conversation. All the bedrooms in this penthouse are unique, but in the primary, it's about comfort and tranquility, but you can't forget about luxury. We use Venetian plaster in two different patterns, one smooth and reflected, and the other one behind the bed in a geometric pattern. We designed this bed to appear like it's floating and made this extended headboard with seamless nightstands. To finish up the space, we hang these beautiful pendant lights. We were definitely not afraid of pattern in this office. We had this dramatic pattern on the walls and on the rug. I designed this desk to be totally unexpected. The drawers are angled in different directions, and I added a touch of light blue for a little color surprise. This is a great space to do work, but it's hard not to get distracted by these views. Speaking of views, is one more space I want to show you. This roof deck is a secret garden oasis, and I love it. It's like an extension of the High Line, with greenery all around the perimeter. We use comfortable and stylish furniture, and we cover it in dark material. Has a dramatic contrast with the greenery. The views here are to die for, with some of the most recognizable buildings in New York. And this table is a beautiful place to dine. I love how the surface reflects the ever-changing sky. This is one of my favorite projects because it allows me to play with pattern, color, and scale, set against the backdrop of New York City. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.
Coming up, Havana on the Hudson at this very personal apartment in Washington Heights. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Now, for architect Adam Ralston, design should be personal and reflect an owner's experiences and travels. It's an ethos he practices in his work and his very own Art Deco apartment in Washington Heights. See how.
The thing I love about architecture is making beautiful things for many people. I'm Adam Ralston, and I live in Washington Heights. Welcome to my home. When we bought the apartment, it hadn't been touched since the 1930s. We bought it from one of the original owners. And when we renovated it, we wanted to respect the original architecture. We had just come back from a trip to Havana. And so we were joking that we wanted the feeling of Havana on the Hudson. Even though I'm an architect and interior designer, we didn't really decorate this place, we just collected it. It's all things that we've collected over 30 years of being together to create a home. So we started with this idea of Havana on the Hudson right here in the foyer. Havana had its heyday in the Deco era, and all of the buildings now have this kind of beautiful patina to them. And so we recreated that here with this integral colored plaster. The integral colored plaster is actually plaster with pigment integral to it. What that does is it brings the most important thing about the apartment, the Palisades, this beautiful view right into the apartment. Conceptually, it's sort of the same color, this off green, but also physically, like it aligns. That datum is brought into the apartment. So this is our live, work, play living room. We do everything here, from watching TV to dining to cocktails. The thing I loved about this table was the combination of the oxidized brass and the chrome. I moved here in the 80s, and there was a glamour to that era that I've always been drawn to. And so I started collecting Jay Spector, who comes from that era. Our studio, Inc. Architecture and Design, developed this wingback as an homage to a Scandinavian designer from that same era. I think of furniture as my friends. They patina and get better with age. All this stuff that we surround ourselves with makes this home uniquely ours. And that's what good design should always do. The rug is actually inspired by a paint pour artwork. And of course we added a little bit of violet and mauve to connect with the rest of the colors in the apartment. And the colors were drawn from literally the view. This window was one of the things that sold us on the apartment. It's so unique with the industrial sash casements looking out towards the George Washington Bridge. Steel windows are no longer that common, and we stripped them down to the original steel just to give it that patina, just like the front door. It's just character that old buildings have that new construction doesn't. Looking out this window, it's like you're looking through history, and it's breathtaking. One of the problems with this kitchen is that it was teeny and dark. So the first thing we did was open up this opening to get light in and also to connect to this little home office. We wanted it to feel like a ship's galley, so we went all stainless steel. The kitchen sink is actually a bar back sink. And we added the wood top just to bring a little warmth. And one of my favorite details is the sliding upper cabinets. And the color in here is mauve, same line as in the foyer. And back here in the little home office is my partner's collection of clocks, because he's always late. Welcome to the bedroom, where all the magic happens. Wanted to bring that same line in, but here we reverse the color, where the color's above and the white is below, to lighten it and brighten it. It's got 2 exposures. I can see the Tappan Zee Bridge from my bed. There is nothing better than waking up to this view. And then we brought the Palisades in literally this time with a tapestry inspired by the Cloisters tapestries. And it was a picture that I took of the Palisades out the window and put it on the wall. There's nothing better than faux fur. The bed is Jay Spector again. It's a combination of brass and oxidized copper, and then it's upholstered to match the rug because we're crazy. The vertebrae skeleton, one of my favorite objects, just to remind me of my mortality as I go to bed every night. A big round mirror for the 1930s feel, and another Jay Spector credenza because I'm obsessed. The artwork is of a Trojan box. I made it in the 90s. You know, we're in the middle of the AIDS crisis, and it was a call to arms. And another weird piece, which is actually a grain drum that we use as our hamper. Come to think of it, after showing you guys this house, we have a lot of weird stuff. This home is just a celebration of the life that my partner and I have built together. And that's what all great architecture should be. It should be an expression of the people that use it. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. It was awesome having you in my home.
Give this video a thumbs up and let us know which of these gorgeous homes featured in this episode was your favorite. So many to choose from. Which will you pick?